everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a look based on this new Shaaanxo palette by BH Cosmetics. One half is eyeshadows. I'll show you guys those now. Oh, you can see my camera in there. These are the eyeshadows that she has created. A lot of them actually remind me a lot of Makeup Geek, but they're still really beautiful. And then the other side is lip colors. I've kept the plastic on because I don't use them as often and I don't want them to get cruddy. The light might shift a little bit while I do this video. I have the shade down, but I am using natural light, so hopefully it doesn't go too crazy. But anyways, I wanted to create a look using the new palette by Shaaanxo. So to start, we're just going to use this NYX Soft Focus Primer. I have clean hands, so I like to just kind of swirl around in the product and then kind of push it onto my skin. So I should be a little bit quicker about this because we do actually have to leave in like 20 minutes. Anyways, for foundation, I'm gonna use this. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth for Normal to Dry Skin in 110 Porcelain, and this is Revlon Color Stay in 180 Sand Beige. So I'm just gonna mix the two of them and then apply them using a Real Technique sponge. So I am mixing these strictly for shade range purposes. I feel like this is a good match for the rest of my body, and these two were the only ones I could dig up that kind of look like they'd be a good match. So now what I'm doing is, now that I've applied one thin layer of foundation, I'm just gonna go back over and stipple on top of areas that need a little bit more coverage, because that's how you build. You wanna push it instead of swiping it, because that's just gonna move things. You don't wanna move anything you just did. You just wanna add a little bit more. I always find around my nose I need a little extra coverage, you know? All right, now that we've layered a good amount of foundation on our faces, I'm gonna use this Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is in shade 10 Light. I always make sure to hit the inner part of my eye because I'm really dark in there. And then the rest of my skin looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit over here and then a tiny bit on my chin. And again, just gonna buff that in with my sponge. I find that if I don't move the sponge too much, like if I pretty much just buff exactly where I want that product to go, I have much better coverage. It sounds so simple when you say it out loud, but actually doing it is a whole different story because I just want to like move this sponge all over the place, but it doesn't make sense to do that. Just buff it right where you want it. All right, as far as creams go, I think I do want to add one more thing. I've been thinking, I don't know if this is gonna work, about using one of these lipstick colors as a cream blush. So I think I'm gonna give that a shot. I think I'm just gonna take this color up here, just a little bit on my ring finger, and kind of smile and pat the product where I want it. This is a really pigmented product, actually. All right, now that that's all set, I'm gonna take my NYX HD powder and a giant brush and then just kind of put this all over the face. I do find it helps the longevity of my makeup, makes everything stay a lot longer just where I want it. And it's translucent, so there's no extra coverage. For eyebrows today, I'm gonna use this Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Brow Color in shade Medium. I'm just gonna use a little mirror and get nice and close and just draw really short strokes. I like this product because it looks pretty natural and it doesn't create like a block brow. It just looks like you've added a bunch of little strokes and makes the color look nice and opaque, but not, like I said, like not a block. So I really like that. Once I have that situated, I like to just grab my spoolie, brush it through a little bit, call it a day. God, I'm really sorry about the lighting. I feel like this really is in true Shaaanxo fashion because she sits in front of a mirror or in front of a window and her light is always going crazy in her videos. So I'm really sorry. But anyway, next for eyes, I'm gonna use my MAC Prep and Prime Eye Base. This is my favorite stuff ever. I never do eyeshadow without it. I just find that it really helps the longevity of my eyeshadow with my hooded eyes. All right, so now to jump into the eyeshadows, I am going to take this one, which reminds me a lot of Makeup Geek's Chickadee, and I'm going to apply that kind of in the crease. Oh, you might be able to hear my little cat meowing. So my one complaint about the transition shades in this palette is that this is a little too like bright, a little too bold. I would prefer something a little bit more muted, a little bit lighter. Maybe it's because my skin tone is so light that this just comes up so intense. I do like it. I just feel like for every day, I don't always want like this kind of shade in my crease, but it's not really that big of a deal, especially considering how affordable this palette is. I think it's, could be under $20, I'm not sure. But if you wanna check it out, I'll leave a link in the description box. You guys can check it out. Okay, next I'm gonna take this shade, which reminds me a bit of Cocoa Bear by Makeup Geek. And I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna focus it kind of on the outer corners over here, just kind of tap it on and apply it a little bit in the crease also. If the sun could stay just like that, that would be perfect. So first what I'm doing is just applying this with a brush, and then I'm gonna go in and blend it out. But this is more to deposit the color, and then now I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and blend it out. So sadly, this is the second time I've had to film this tutorial. Yesterday I was in the middle of it and my camera battery died because my boyfriend had been using my camera a lot for classes. He had to make videos. So the last time he used it, he had to make like a 30-minute long video, and it totally wrecked my battery. So this is round 2. I think it's going swimmingly. I think it's going all right. So I have a little bit of practice, which is nice. I never practice really my looks, which I don't know, could be a detriment, but I find that it usually generally works out. I hope so. Okay, next what we are going to do is take this bottom shade. It's kind of a duochrome. Again, reminds me a lot of Makeup Geek, which isn't a bad thing because obviously I love my Makeup Geek. So first I'm just gonna take it dry on a brush, a flat shader brush, and kind of distribute some of that product. And then I'm gonna do it wet because it comes up so much better. But before I do that, a couple things. I'm gonna blend. So you don't have to be too precise because you can always blend out your colors. And these blend actually really well. And I'd had a problem before with them falling out, but recently I haven't had that issue, so not bad. Okay, to add a little bit of dimension, I'm gonna take this really dark color. It's like kind of a browny gray. It's a really cool color. So again, I'm gonna kind of pack it on the outside and then blend it in with a brush. And because my eyes are hooded, sometimes I like to just open them again and kind of check to see where that darkness is and make sure it's where I want it. This darker one is a little bit harder to blend, so make sure you get it as close to where you want it as possible because it is gonna give you a little bit of a hard time. So I'm kind of putting it in like a cat eye shape. But very soft. It's not very hard at all. If I wanted it to be really harsh, I'd use some tape to give it that straight line, but I just want it nice and soft. All right, so now that we've blended like maniacs, I am going to grab my Fix Plus spray, give it a couple spritzes onto my brush, and pack that color on my lid. This is a cool duochrome. I don't mean cool toned, obviously it's pretty warm, but it's like a rusty red. It's like Blue Brown by MAC, if you guys are familiar with that. Or I think it's Makeup Geek's Insomnia. I don't have that shade myself, but I have seen it a lot online. It's beautiful, I really like it. Even though it's very similar to Mug, I don't own it, so I'm thrilled to have it this way. So I'm gonna let this dry a little bit before I move on and blend it. I just want to give it a second. And what's cool is when you blend it, it kind of turns into that like rusty, like Cocoa Bearish type color. Very pretty. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, I'm trying to remember how I did it yesterday. I think I'm just gonna grab that duochrome color and put it on my bottom lash line. Next, to deepen up the look, I'm gonna take this pencil by NYX. This is their Très Jolie liner. It's like a gel liner, so I'm just going to tight line with that. And then also put it on my lower lash line. It's always tricky to do this one-handed. I might actually look into my mirror over here and apply it. All right, and then in classic Shaaanxo fashion, she likes to apply her lashes before she puts on mascara. I did that yesterday. It worked out pretty well. So I'm gonna use some by Ardell. They are the Ardell Naturals in 124. So this is what they look like. So I am going to do this off camera. I'm just going to put some glue on them, let them get tacky for about 30 seconds, and then place them on my eye. I'm just remembering that yesterday I put eyeliner on my top lash line. Totally forgot. I also got a bunch of glue on my eye, so I'm gonna use a Q-tip to take that off. All right, we've kind of reached new levels of oh crap, I have to go. So while this is drying, or while this glue is getting tacky, I'm gonna take the top middle shade and apply it to the tops of my cheekbones. It's a really pretty highlighter. It's really intense, but it's super pretty. It's like kind of a frosty, not frosty, but I guess a little bit. Beautiful, like really light, pale, icy color. I don't know. I'm terrible at this description thing, but I think it looks really nice. So I'm just going to pat it down a tiny bit. And I'm gonna use that color also on the inner corners of my eyes. All right, I'm gonna slap on this lash and pray. All right, while we wait for that lash glue to dry, I'm just gonna use a NYX lip pencil in Natural. I'm then just gonna grab a little bit of this color on the bottom here and apply it to my lips. Okay, and then finally we are going to add mascara. I'm just gonna use this little roller lash that I have kicking around just to kind of hit the bottom of the lash and make them nice and black. Apply it to my lower lash line as well, or my lower lashes. And final step, I'm just going to take a little bit of this Breakup Cool Porcelain Contour Powder from Makeup Geek. Apply that just in the hollow of the cheek, just to add a little bit of dimension to the face. And then the final step is going to be using some setting spray. I'm gonna use this Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. I'm just gonna pull the hair back for this. All right, and that is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed. You can find all the products I used listed down below. Head over to amberrybeauty.com for some more pictures, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.